Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm so glad that you guys are here today because we are going to be doing something so much fun. So we are going to be doing, of course, our makeup, of course, but not only are we going to be doing a full face of another one brand, but we are also going to be jumping into the collab of SpongeBob. So the full face, as you saw with the title already, of course, is Wet n Wild. We are doing a full face of Wet n Wild today, and I am so excited because you guys know how much I love affordable makeup at the drugstore, and you guys should know by now how much I love Wet n Wild. Like, love Wet n Wild. So a few years back, I did go ahead and post a video of full face of Wet n Wild and my favorites back then, but guys, Wet n Wild has like just upgraded themselves. Their products are just so good, and not like they weren't before, but it's amazing how like they keep coming out with really good bomb products but still manage to stay affordable. So it's so crazy. They have came out with so many new products since I posted that video that I definitely wanted to do like an updated fun summer 2021 version of that video. So today we're going to be doing a full face of Wet n Wild, and we are also going to be testing out the collab that they did with SpongeBob. I am freaking excited, guys. When I saw this collection, I was like, I need it. I don't need it, but I need it. You know what I mean? Like I need it. I grew up watching SpongeBob with my cousins, and although SpongeBob didn't come out when I was like super young and little, I was still like in school and stuff, and I would love to come home, eat food, and watch SpongeBob for the rest of the evening. So I still do love watching SpongeBob. My daughter loves watching SpongeBob. I still enjoy watching SpongeBob. So I was so excited. I do have the Nautical Nonsense palette. This is a limited edition palette, guys, so I do apologize. You know, depending on when you're watching this video, if you can no longer get your hands on it. But if you are watching this video in like real time, it's still out there. Definitely go ahead and get this because, I mean, I don't know yet. Wait till the end of the video to see what if I recommend it or not. But just to even have it in my collection, like, I'm just so excited. All right. I also have the new Wet n Wild sponge. This is the Patrick one. And then I also picked up the SpongeBob one, of course, like, hello. So I do have those sponges. And then for a brush, I did pick up the flat kabuki brush. This seems like it would be a nice brush to like contour with. So I did pick up this one, so super excited about that. And then I also picked up the Fun Purifying Setting Mist as well. So I am just, look at SpongeBob blowing his bubbles. I'm so excited. I want it fun, I want it summery, I want it fresh, I want it colorful. If you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to do so, as well as hit that notification bell right there. Does not cost you anything. If anything, it just alerts you, lets you know when I uploaded, when I posted, and hit the thumbs up as well if you enjoy these types of videos, because you will be helping a girl out. Without further ado, let's get into it. So we're gonna pop this hair back. Just got out the shower, so it's a little messy right now. Okay, so to prime my face, I'm first going to go in with the Prime Focus Primer Serum, and this is a hydrating serum. And I will let you know if I'm using something that is not Wet n Wild, which the only thing that will be most likely is the bronzer, because I don't have a bronzer from Wet n Wild in my collection anymore. I used to love their bronzers when they were in like this type of packaging, but when they changed their packaging to the square packaging, I wasn't a fan anymore, so I do not have their bronzers. But we're gonna prime, so I'm just gonna use a little bit of this primer just to get my skin prepped and ready. Oh my god, guys, have you guys seen Tati's new video? Like, she is back. Oh my god, she surprised me. I was so surprised when I saw that video. I feel like she surprised all of us because obviously she's been gone for about a year. And I used to watch Tati's videos all the time, and oh my god, it's so crazy. But I'm glad she's back, and I'm glad she's doing good. So that's exciting. So we're gonna be a little bougie today. I know, speaking about Tati always uses like 2 or 3 primers. Sometimes so do I. So we're gonna go in with the second primer. This one is the Photo Focus Face Primer in Matte. And this is what it looks like. And this is a brand new one because I actually used up my other one that I had. I love this primer when it comes to, you know, wanting to mattify your skin. It is like basically summer, like it's still spring, I guess technically, but the weather here lately, it's just been summer weather, like 80, 90 degrees here in Pennsylvania. So as much as I want to look fresh and dewy and nice for the summer, I also want to not be like a greasy chicken. Like obviously we're going to be sweating, you know, your face is going to be a little bit more oilier. I mean, if you do have that issue in the summer. In the winter, I'm more like slightly dry to like normal, and then in the summer, I'm more like combo to like sometimes oily. It really depends on my skin, my diet. But yeah, so that just really kind of just mattifies, and I just kind of put that in the T-zone area. So for today's video, I decided to use the tinted hydrator. So I freaking love this hydrator so much. If you guys watched my past videos, you guys would know that already. But this has hyaluronic acid in it, has squalene in it, and it is a sheer to medium coverage. I think this is such a great product for the summer because it's lightweight. It's not going to feel super heavy and like suffocating on the skin. If you do want something a little bit more fuller coverage, I do love their Photo Focus foundation. I like their normal foundation, which is a little bit more on the matte side, and then I do love their dewy one as well. So I do have the dewy one right now. I finished up the other one, but like I said, I did want to go in with this one. Mine is in the shade medium tan. I'm going to use my fingers when it comes to applying this foundation, or whatever you want to call it. I just feel like, I don't know, I just like it better when I apply it with my hands or fingers, whatever you want to say. I just like really like pushing it into the skin and basically applying it like a moisturizer. I feel like it just melts into the skin so quickly. And I know you're probably thinking, girl, you're not using the sponges. I do not use any type of sponge when I'm using a tinted moisturizer, hydrator, BB cream, like that sort of thing. I will either use a brush or just my hands, because if you're looking for any type of coverage, a sponge is just going to soak up everything. And literally, guys, it just like, especially with that primer, it doesn't feel super tacky. Like, I don't know, like it feels like good to the touch. Like I feel like I could like not set this and be okay. But I am gonna set it a little bit just in my like basically my T-zone area. All right, so for concealer, I'm gonna use the Incognito Wet n Wild concealer. This is the all day full coverage concealer. Guys, I love this concealer. And for that concealer, I am going to use my my Patrick sponge. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Oh my god, look, it has his face on it. So freaking cute. So I did wet it and it did get like a little bit bigger. So I'm super excited to try it out. So I'm going to use this concealer. I know I love this concealer. It's one of my favorite concealers from the drugstore. So if it comes out weird, I know it's the sponge. Oops. Okay. I wanted to try this one out as well, but I think I'm going to save this one for another day just because I feel like this one's made more for like carving and like chiseling. So maybe we will use it. Maybe we'll just use it to bake kind of, but so what I'm already kind of picking up is this is really flimsy. Like it's kind of, I don't know, a little flimsy in a way. So I'm just going to use my finger in the back of it. Like I'm not going to just do like this. I'm going to keep my finger in the back of it just to kind of give it a little support. And I'm just going to use his tushy area to do the bigger area parts. I mean, it doesn't feel as soft as their other sponge, like the pink normal looking sponge. I don't know like what it's called, but I really do like that sponge from them. This one, like material wise, it doesn't feel the same. Like it doesn't feel as soft. It almost has that like other texture that I'm not really a fan of, but I'll put up with it just because it's Patrick, you know? So to set my under eye, I'm just gonna use the Wet n Wild. This is like a bronzer, but I mean, I don't honestly, who is wearing this shade as a bronzer? I don't know what they were thinking. Maybe it's like, is more like a highlighting setting powder, but it's in there, you know how, you know what I mean? I don't know. Anyways, but this is the Reserve Your Cabana, and so I'm gonna use this to just set my under eyes. And yes, I did get this idea from Kelly Strack on YouTube. I think that's her last name, Strack. But she uses this and always brags about this. And this was at my dollar store. And I was like, well, I wasn't really going to go out of my way to try to find it, but since it was right at my dollar store, I was like, let's try it, and I do like it. And then to finish setting my face, I'm just going to use the Photo Focus Translucent Setting Powder. I love this setting powder from Wet n Wild. It is seriously such a good setting powder, although it can get messy. And I'm just going to use a kabuki brush. Like I said, I'm just going to kind of set it lightly. I really don't feel like you need to set this one. I feel like you can go like get away with it, especially if you have dry skin. I think you can get away with not setting this hydrator. Now obviously, of course, setting it's going to make it last a little bit longer, especially in the summer. But so I'm just lightly. And what I do is I always like push my powder into my skin, and then sometimes I might buff, but usually I'll just kind of like push it in, so that way I'm not moving around any product too much. All right, so I am gonna bronze up the skin and probably do brows. So what I'm gonna do for my bronzer is, I think I'm gonna go ahead and use the LA Colors one. This one's such an affordable bronzer. I wanted to still use affordable bronzers for this look because Wet n Wild is super affordable. And this one's in Beach Babe. So I'm gonna use this one. It is a warmer bronzer, so I feel like it's so good for summer. I still don't have a nice, you know, tan yet, but hopefully soon. So I'm just gonna go in with a light hand with this because I don't want to look super orange, because again, I don't have a good base tan yet. Then I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. bronzer, which this one's in the shade Forever Sun Kiss. It's a little bit more cool tone, but still not like super cool tone, but it's a little bit more cool tone than the other bronzer. So I'm gonna use that one just to contour a little bit. I'm just gonna go down my nose. Like I said, I don't do any like anything crazy. I'm gonna take my Laura Lee Los Angeles L13 and I'm just going to chisel out the cheekbones a little bit. So next I'm going to do my brows. So for brows, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild. This is the retractable brow pencil, and this one is the it's not the precise one. It's like the one that kind of has that like triangle tip. And mine is in the shade Ash Brown 626A. And this one is a new one. My precise one from Wet n Wild is totally finished. Had to repurchase, and I did have this one in the past, and I really did like it. This pencil is a little bit more waxier than I remember. I do think I like their precise one, their like mini precise one, a little bit better, but they didn't have that one, I don't think. when I went to Walmart. So I just picked up this one. It's not horrible. And I go through brow pencils so quickly, so I'm not really too concerned with it. I feel like it's a little bit more waxy than it is pigmented. I don't know, like this doesn't, I don't remember it ever being this way. So I'm not a fan of this brow pencil anymore. I mean, I don't know, unless I got like a weird one. But what I am a fan of is this Brow Obsessive brow gel from Wet n Wild. So this is their, this one's in the shade, I don't even know. Oh, brown, just brown. But yeah, I love it. I went through my other one because I used it all the time. This literally gives you that like fuller, fluffier brow, and I freaking love it so much. So as long as they have this, I will keep buying it. This brow gel will hold down your brows while making it just look fuller, darker. I just love it. They do have it in clear though too. So if you do not like tinted brow gels, they do have this in clear. I never tried the clear one, but I love this one so much. We're gonna save blush and highlight for last because I do want to do my eyes first and then go off of that, you know, because I do have two different blushes that I have in my collection. I do have the shade Mellow Wine and I have the shade Keep It Peachy. So obviously these are two different tones, two different colors. So I'm gonna see where I go with the eyes first. So you do have your shades in the back. It kind of smells, it doesn't smell like fruity or anything, but it has like a scent to it, but I can't put my like finger on what it smells like. But these are the freaking colors, guys. Oh my God, look how beautiful. So first, I'm just gonna go into this shade here, which I think, yeah. So I'm gonna go into this shade here, which is Howdy Y'all. Just put that in my transition just to kind of start us off. I'm gonna look in my mirror here. Okay, it is showing up. I was like, oh my God, is this not showing up? But it is. It is like a light transition shade, so it's not like gonna be, you know, but you can see it. Oh yeah, for sure. It blended so well. I mean, Wet n Wild shadows are usually pretty good, so I really did like that, and there was no kickback at all, but like it still showed up, so that is amazing. I'm not saying that all of them don't have any kickback. I obviously haven't dipped into anything else yet, but that's nice. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade Pretty Patty, which is the shade right here. Whoa, pigment, like it's not, there's not that much kickback as you can see. Well, now it's like coming off the brush, but like there is some now, but a lot of it came off the brush. But wow, I was not expecting that much pigment. All right, so I'm just gonna put this in the crease. And I did kick a lot off my brush because I was like, that's a lot. Let's not get too crazy. So I'm just going back in with that shade Howdy Y'all and just kind of blending in, well, not blending in, but blending those edges of the orange. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit more of a detailer brush. This one is a Luxie 121 mini tapered brush, and I'm just going to go into that orange as well and just kind of focus it a little bit more, but like just deeper in the crease area because I don't want it blown out too much. I just want it in that crease area. So many colors in here that I want to play with. Alright, so it does build up pretty nicely. I have no complaints about it. And it didn't take me a while to build it up either. You know, it's just, you know, getting it where I want it, but like I wouldn't say it gave me a hard time and I had to like spend hours building it up. I did go in with a light hand because again, you saw how much came on that brush. So next I'm just going to use a flat brush. I think I'm gonna go in to this shade, which is called Square Pants. This shade right here. It just looks so pretty and I just want to use it. I wish they had like a bright yellow or like a gold, more like a yellow gold, just because, like, you know, SpongeBob. So I'm gonna go in with my brush first and see what happens. Okay. So not much, as you can see. I can like zoom you guys in, but like not much. Let's see. Okay. Definitely more of an impact with my finger. Like I know this is like a yellow gold, but I was like, you know, just more yellow, like just maybe just yellow, not even gold, but I don't know. Okay, so that is so pretty. Because I'm using my finger and I don't have a sticky base, I do feel a little bit of fallout, but I probably can just brush that away. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna wet my brush. So I'm gonna get product and then I'm gonna wet it just to see. Ooh, that smells good. Just to see if I can sharpen that edge a bit, possibly. Kind of wipe away any fallout. I do have a little bit of like sparkle. So if you're gonna do something bold, maybe just do your eyes first, but nothing crazy. So I'm gonna go back in with that orange and just kind of clean up this part a little bit. I do wish though, I feel like I have like a sunset moment on my eyes. I do wish though that they would have came out with a little bit more to this collection. Like they just came out with like some face products, like setting spray, primer mist, eyeshadow palette, and then a lot of like tools. But I do wish that they would have came out with like at least like maybe some lip glosses or matte liquid lips or something, you know, something a little bit more. I just feel like so much more could have been done with this collection, like the SpongeBob collection, but I guess it is what it is. I think for my bottom lash line, even though it's not matte or anything, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, which, oh goodness, which that shade is Best Day Ever. Oh my God, I love it. I'm gonna use my little dual brush here and I'm gonna just go into that shade just like that. And I don't know if you guys can tell, like it's not, I mean, I can definitely see it like looking in the mirror, but like on camera I feel like it's kind of hard to see. I wish it was a little bit more pigmented, so let me just put some on this eye and then maybe I can wet the brush. Because I'm sure if I use my finger, I'm probably gonna get a little bit, I'm gonna make that line a little bit too thick. So I have some on the brush. That looks way better. So yeah, some of these you have to either use your finger or wet your brush. All right, so I'm gonna go into mayonnaise right here. And I'm just gonna use that to highlight my brow bone area because I don't like an actual shimmer highlight on my brow bone, but I do like to highlight it. And then I'm gonna use my finger and I'm going into tartar sauce, which is like this beautiful like white, but it looks like it can maybe shift to a different color. And I'm just gonna use that in my inner corner. Oh wow, that's crazy. Oh my God. Okay, so that's pigmented and I'm just gonna kind of try. It's gonna be a thick inner corner highlight, but yeah. Wow, that's gonna be beautiful all over the lid. So I cannot wait to continue to play with this palette. I could possibly use some eyeliner. I don't have a liquid eyeliner from Wet n Wild. And I can always pull one from my collection, but I don't have one in front of me. So I think this look could use some eyeliner, but we are just gonna kind of leave it there. And I'm just gonna jump into just using mascara. So for mascara, I'm gonna use one of my favorite, actually my only favorite mascara from Wet n Wild. But this one is the Wet n Wild Big Papa. I love this mascara. I've never tried a mascara from Wet n Wild that I was like, yeah, I love that. I love it. You know, it's amazing. Mascara is not their biggest, you know, it's not their biggest strength. But this one blew me away. I just like love it. Like, look at that. Oh my God. Like, for a Wet n Wild mascara and for it being affordable, I feel like it's almost getting empty actually. I've been using it a lot. Which is, I'm happy that it's getting empty because it's definitely not getting dried out, but it feels a little more empty. But at the end of this month, it's going to be my full 6 months of having this mascara, so I'm going to have to discard it soon. So I'm trying to use it as much as possible, so that way I'm not wasting a whole lot. So I'm going to go back and you do a second round. And since this look is so warm, I think I'm going to go in with that peachy blush. Oh my God, you see? Look at these lashes. Are you freaking kidding me? Look at these lashes. 2 coats, 1. So I will go ahead and do my bottom lashes then. I always let my tops dry first. It's just how I do my makeup. So I'm gonna go ahead and do some blush while that dries. So I'm gonna use this one here, which is just peachy. Shh, Puggy. I think the recycle or trash truck is here, so my dog is about to pop off. For highlighter, I'm gonna go in and use the Mega Glow highlighter, and this one is in Precious Petals. Like, it's about to come apart. Well, it is coming apart. Like, it's hanging on by the sticker, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna use this one. So highlighter is on, and I just love how like glowy and wet it looks, but not like chunky. I love their highlighters. All right, so next I'm gonna set my face before I do my bottom lashes. So I'm gonna set my face, and again, this is the Fun Purifying Setting Mist. Wow, the mist is pretty fine. It's not like, I don't feel like I'm like squinting my eyes. I did inhale though. I did inhale. It smells like a Bath and Body Works like scent. That's crazy, but it goes away pretty quickly. It does. I don't think it's gonna linger because it's already like kind of fading. But yeah, oh my God, guys, look how beautiful that made my skin look. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that dry. While that's drying, I'm gonna go in with my lip product. So I'm just gonna use the Mega Last Liquid Catsuit in it's a high shine lipstick. I love this so much. I love a lot of their lip products. I like their shine lipsticks, I like their matte lipsticks, I like their cloud thingy, whatever they are. I don't even know, but I just love them all. And yeah, so, and I'm excited that we soon do not have to wear a mask anymore. I think in Pennsylvania anyways, and on the 28th, the mask mandate will be fully lifted for everyone. Right now, it is lifted for people who are fully vaccinated, but except for personal businesses that still want you to wear it, of course. I think once the 28th comes along though, I think every place is gonna be lifted. But anyways, I am fully vaccinated. Maybe I shouldn't say that online because I know some people feel a certain way about it. You do you, I do me. So I have been like not wearing my mask in certain places and my job requires to be 2 weeks post fully vaccinated before not wearing your mask. So actually tomorrow will be 2 full weeks. So yes, I'm just so excited that I'm actually more excited now to do my makeup, because before, every time I do my makeup, I'm like, what's the point? It's just going to come off on my mask, you know, like what's the point of spending time? And I would do it just to kind of use some products up and, you know, feel good about myself. But then when I would have to put a mask on, I'm like, All right, so I'm going to just quickly put some lower mascara on. Oh my God. So I know I don't do a whole lot of color looks on my channel, but I do wear like color eyeshadow. I'm not scared or shy of it. I'm not no Nikki Tutorials, that's for sure, or like James Charles, but I'm definitely not shy of color. And Laura Lee is coming out with her Candy Skies palette, which looks so beautiful. I just don't know, like, I know she's not super light. I feel like Erin looks so good with that blue. Like if you saw her launch, you know, reveal video, Erin looks so good with that like blue purple look. I just don't know if I would be able to pull it off with my skin tone. I know like Laura Lee in her video was of course wearing like the more like warm tone still out of the palette. So I want to see like what the pastels look like on her, because she's like, I feel like she's more tan like than I am. So if she can pull it off, maybe I can. I don't know. I'm just like, I want to get it, but I don't know. Guys, what should I do? It's launch day today, so you guys can even tell me. All right, so yeah, that is everything, guys. Full face basically of Wet n Wild. And I love the way my skin is looking, and I just like how it looks fresh, summery, but does not feel at all tacky or anything. I look glowy, but when you feel my skin, it's super matte, like it feels matte. I just love it, guys. I love it. I love the pop of color on my eyes. Like I just literally love everything. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I really did like everything. I have not really played too much yet with this palette. So if you guys want me to do more like tutorials, like I just focus on eyes, do an eye tutorial with this palette, let me know what colors like story you want me to do on my eyes, because I will be so happy to do more looks with this palette. I hate when like people like on YouTube get you to want to buy a palette, but then they don't really show you besides the first time, and then you're like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do with this? So let me know, and I will definitely do more looks with it. And yeah, so that is everything. I like almost forgot to tell you what I thought about the new products that I tried today. So the only new products that I really tried, I'm so sorry. All right, so guys, I just remembered I forgot to use this. I will use this in future videos though, I promise, as well as the sponge. So keep an eye out for future videos. I will try to incorporate that into another video. So sorry to not get to try those. But this sponge here, like, I wouldn't buy it again. Like once it's time to throw it out, I wouldn't buy it again. I love Patrick, but I just don't like the feeling of these sponges. I don't know. It's just not the same as their other sponge. The setting spray, I hardly smell like the fragrance. If you don't like fragrance in your setting sprays, you're not gonna like this, of course. Or if you get very irritated by fragrance in your makeup or setting sprays, again, you're probably not gonna like this. But my skin doesn't freak out that easily, so I don't mind it. It did smell really good, but I feel like it fainted pretty quickly, where it wasn't like gonna give me a headache or linger or anything. So yeah, and I do like how it made my skin look. Like I feel like it made it look dewy, but like it doesn't feel greasy. Like some setting sprays that make you look dewy, like they're kind of like oil based, so like they, you know, sometimes they might break up your makeup, or they just make you look like a greasy chicken. But this just makes me look healthy. I feel like it melted my makeup together, and it's amazing. And then the other new thing that I used was, of course, the palette. And yeah, I love the palette. So this isn't a review on the actual palette, which is why I'm not going into like swatches and stuff, because this video is going to be already super long, probably, because you know me and my editing skills. But anyways, if you guys do want a full review on this palette, swatches, and like I said, another look, just go ahead and let a girl know down below. All right, guys, until my next video, bye.